Yes, I'm a cougar. That's what I realized what a cougar was. I was called that. I was like, what is a cougar? Yeah, I'm a cougar.
And it's not that much of an age where like I'm the nigga on there playing PlayStation. and this is my mom's friend.
Oh, no.
This ain't that kind of thing.
No. And
it's still under 10 years.
Heck to the no.
I chose to marry up.
I chose to marry down.
17 years ago, we met at her cousin's house, which was my homeboy house. And here we are today.
Yes. Our story is a whole nother video, guys. Our story is a whole nother video. So for me, I'm going to say I had to write this down because I want to just give some key pointers, especially for women who may wonder what it's like to marry down in age. One of the joys of marrying down in age, for me is youthfulness and vitality. So being able to do fun things physically with no impairment. I mean, meaning it's like no problem. We can do fun things. We can run around. We can, water slide. We haven't skydived yet. That's on the list. Zip line, all the fun things that you can do, rollerblade, skate, with someone without any health problems is
nigga.
Is an advantage. I'm glad about that. Is one of the joys.
And me per se, maturity. Wasn't interested in the little girls. And little girls, I mean little girl mentality. Childish, still trying to figure out who you are. Got to go through all the growing pains of you being an adult or being of a mature status in marriage.
Okay. Another joy for me of marrying down in age is sense of humor. I must say, I think when he first met me, he was like, man, you are serious as
hell.
That's my family, guys. That is my family. Cracking jokes. I mean, I love comedy too. So I would watch crazy movies. I would watch, TV shows that are just humorous. And I could laugh with my dad, but it was always like just
serious.
And he was he's still funny, but it's just like natural humor. So that was one of the things that really attracted me to him was his sense of humor. Because sometimes older guys can be not very humorous.
And it just was what you said. You said you brought in your household upbringing. That's was my norm to this day. When you go over there, that's the norm to this day. Laughter. We weren't huggy family, but we were a laughy family.
Goofy.
Yeah. Cool. And when I met her, you could say a joke and she'd be like, huh.
Not always, guys. It really had to be funny. I'm not the person that's going to just laugh to make somebody feel good. It's got to be funny for me to really give to laugh. In the beginning, little jokes it was a little corny.
Yeah, it probably, and sometimes they still are. But in the beginning, it was that shell was hard. It took years for her to just be. To now, I know exactly what can make her laugh every time. But
it's like you don't have to try extra hard, and you just be yourself, and then I laugh. So that was it. Let
somebody get punched in the face.
Whatever.
She loves. I don't know why she loves that.
Whatever that
That's
one
funny.
thing is, guys. Don't believe that. But yeah, it was humor for me.
For me, I always like older cars. So I always like a mature car.
So what they got to do with
me? Yeah. But listen, I always like a car that has that's always just a little bit more mature than the newest car. Because the newest car, you got to break the car in. It ain't got it's. You ain't got to your first 50,000 miles on there. You don't know the car that good yet. It don't know it's cool to be new, but I like something that's already broken in a little bit and has a more understanding of life and the world. Now I'll switch off the car and down to the person. I prefer someone that has already had experiences of life and we're not going through those experiences new, because I don't want to go through that because my mind has already moved 30 steps forward in things. Although I still have my growing to do, and I'm the younger one, which she may want to talk about that in there, because I didn't want to have the woman to be in a growing stage because I'm in the growing stage. So
Okay, I
both
like
of us
that.
to be that.
Okay, I like that. I understand. Another joy, another joy is similarity in future perspectives, dreams, goals, and pursuits. That was another thing that I realized for me marrying down was because, you know, we shared a lot of like dreams. We both are dreamers, even though we still dream with practicality, and we have to, you know, with the plan, I'll say that, because in dreams you have no practicality about dreams, but planning. And it was our conversations around dreaming and the willingness to really pursue the dreams. I think sometimes with older, you know, men, they can be comfortable, they can be set in their ways, have achieved and acquired, you know, certain things per se, and they're less willing to take the risk. And once again, and we've already talked about this in a previous video, not having kids also made it a lot easier for us both. We both came into the marriage with no kids. So that also made the dreaming and the discussions and perspectives, you know, really come into our fruition, or even more in your visualization, because, well, okay, we ain't got no kids, so this can happen. Yep, we can do that. And so I think too, with him being younger, him not having a lot of kids, not a lot of baggage.
0 kids.
Right. 0 kids, baggage free, pretty much. It was like, okay. And we were able to talk about it in discussion, and it actually seemed to be, you know, more real. It wasn't any hesitation. It wasn't, oh, well, I got this, or, you know, this job. It was like, okay, how can we make this happen? What's the plan? You know, when we doing this?
And marriage is more than just, don't let it confuse you. Yeah, love is a piece on that. It's all good. But it's a whole financial system and it's a whole business. It's a whole business.
It's a business. System. I'm sorry. People can say whatever they want to say. Ooh-wee, ah-wee. Love is not going to keep you together. I mean, love is, I think, a foundational piece in your heart. Yeah. But when life comes, growth, things happen, you know, you really need more than love to make the glue stick.
Absolutely. And just on a side note, just with that, because if it was, the reason why I say a financial piece, because if we did, not going to go into this conversation long, but if I did have a family, I have to make double what I make, because I have to support the family I created plus my spouse. So
family.
Like if I have a child, that's
child support.
That's support.
Yeah,
and I have to support. I have to support this child and my house, so I have to make a lot more, because there's a lot of people, men out here, that you taken away from your new relationship because you still you obligated by the court to take care of this person back here. So I have less that I bring into where I stay. So I thank God for that.
I love it. And I was going to stop there, but I really thought about this, and women probably want to know. Now, I ain't going to tell you everything, but I will say another joy of marrying down is the sex life.
Yeah, especially when you got a light pole, boy.
I didn't tell you to say all that.
And you're younger.
I didn't tell you to say all that. That's what I said. I wasn't going to tell you everything. I might have you edit that. But anyway, y'all, is, you know, that we have fun, adventures.
Well, hold on. Let me jump in.
Okay, but I feel like it can be a little extra, like every day.
It's a great conversation.
Every day.
Because when you marry, when there's a woman that's a little bit more up and the man is a little bit more down, it's a little. Yeah, I'm from the South. There are going to be some sexual things that are going to be different, because this man is at his sexual peak. Women lose that peak interest a little bit younger, years ago, where a man is still climbing to it. And don't be enhanced to where you get you going to the doctor and get them levels up. You're gonna be a monster. You be a monster. And you know, some spouses are through. They don't like it all the time. And whereas a younger man is gonna want it all the time. And I'm gonna say, I'm still in my 40s. It's not like I'm talking like I'm 20 years old. I'm still in my 40s, but I still want it all the time.
And let me say this, girls, I don't have a problem, you know, sharing. If you actually follow me on my channels, I am Joy Janine. Yes, I'm gonna put that in a plug. That I share my cosmetic enhancement surgeries. And I have it on, I think some clips is on my TikTok. I also have it on my artist, Georgia Janine the Artist channel. But maybe a little bit on Instagram, but I think more so TikTok. But I shared it, and I'm just, it's when you have the enhancements, we don't think about those things of what it really means, especially if you married and you got a man. That is even more, enticing, more, it's gonna be bing all the time because of now you made some enhancements,
especially
to what you already have. Exactly.
That's what he likes.
Well, of course, if you're married, it would definitely want to be something that you're, adding and making yourself even more, whatever it is for you, more fine, more voluptuous, more beautiful, whatever, because you want your man to continue to, be excited with your addition because that's what you wanted to do. So let's just be very clear. No, it's not for him, but he is definitely going to be an added benefit if I'm doing it for me. So I just wanted to say that it's, that is also an added bonus to marrying down in age.
Okay.
Now I know you guys want to hear what are some of the pain points, because I definitely wanted to share some of those, too. You got a pain point?
I do have a pain point. One thing about it is there's a pain point that although the maturity is what you like, sometimes set in their ways. Just like she was talking about how the older man can be set in their ways, so would a woman that's a little bit more up in age can be set in their ways too. Whereas you may want to be a little bit more flexible on something, they kind of want to do it this particular way because this is the way they have done it. I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay. All right. Now, one pain point for me is immaturity when it comes to dealing with communication, and I think you have already kind of mentioned that, and we both growing, so I'm not arrived by no means, even though I am older and more mature in certain things, I still will say I'm a work in progress. However, I think that's, a pain point for me is just some of the conversations that we have sometimes when we have a disagreeing conversation. And I think that's it primarily. I want to say when we disagree, it is not always, leading with, maturity coming from his end. We have grown a lot, and I'm gonna say this, and if you want us to do a video about this, put it in the comment section and let us know, when it comes to what makes it stick and being married for 15 years together, 17 total, is that we have worked on our marriage. We started very early, premarital counseling. After we got married, we went to a radical love program in our church, and then we sought marriage coaches and outside of mentors outside of that afterwards. So we've continuously been working on ourselves and self-improvement. However, let me stay focused, that's a pain point for me. I just got one more.
Yeah. Only pain point is ways. Outside of set in ways, there are no other ones.
Okay. What? Oh, you got another pain point. I thought it was no more. Go ahead.
No, it's actually.
Say it.
No, I'm gonna cut that. Keep going.
Okay.
No.
And I think one final pain point for me would be just being carefree about certain things that I think he should care more about, like a little tidiness when it comes to certain things in the house. But outside of that, I really don't. And I don't know, this could be a men thing. Ladies, put in the comment section if you feel that marrying up older in age, or dating up older in age, you find it where it could be the same thing. He may not be as carefree about keeping the house clean, or putting his dish in the dishwasher, or leaving socks over here, or whatever. Maybe it's a man thing, but I got brothers, so and my brothers of course are older. So it may be, one of my brothers he messy, but two of my brothers were actually, and my other two brothers are opposite. But what do y'all think? I feel like that, to me that's. I will say
there is a commonality between the two, with the man that's younger or older. Men are very simple. There's only two things overall, that foundation in an older or younger man: that he has an empty stomach and the empty balls. Those, and I don't care how, there's no simpler fact for a younger man or older man when it comes into a relationship, especially with his spouse. Is his stomach full and is his balls empty? Then that's a happy man.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, ladies. I think ladies. Well, I know we're not simple, but I really
Y'all
feel
not.
like
We are.
I
Y'all
really
are.
feel like it's security and love, because everything else encompasses that. If you truly are loving us, talking to us a certain way, and secure, meaning we're not worried about you out in the streets. If it's something that I want, I'll tell you, okay, this is what I want, and you'll get that thing. Or, I don't have to feel unsafe. I feel safe because of the security you're providing for our household. So I think love and security. What do you think?
So there's ups to it and there's down to it. And I'm sure there are many other
Points.
Right. And I'm sure people have way different scenarios and situations there's an older man, younger woman, younger man, older woman. But this is us for our household, and there's a gap in difference, but it's not a humongous gap. It's a gap, but it's not too crazy. So it's not too far.
Right. We still were able to gel and connect. So I will say, if you've been thinking about it, if you wonder how it was, and if a woman does that, so yes, I'm a cougar. That's what I realized what a cougar was. I was called that. I was like, what is a cougar? Yeah, I'm a cougar.
And it's not that much of an age where like I'm the nigga on there playing PlayStation. and this is my mom's friend.
Oh, no.
This ain't that kind of thing.
No. And
It's still under 10 years.
Heck to the no. Yeah. But I would definitely say, if that's something that you are, interested in, and that can be for both the man and the woman, really just be clear. Because when you get clear as to what you really want in a marriage, age doesn't matter. Because when I prayed and I asked God and I told him what I wanted in my husband, I made a list. I made a list of all the things that I wanted.
You gonna say the list?
No.
Keep going.
But that's another video. If y'all want to know about our story, I can definitely put that in, because that's going to give us some prerequisite on some of these things. But I prayed and asked God, and when I first met him, I was like, it just came just like that.
She told me she noticed what it was when I was out there cutting her grass. I was like, cutting that grass was high too, boy. I swear.
I said, he coming to my house and he gonna cut my grass.
Well, there was so many rocks in that grass.
Stop it. And I just heard, that's my husband. And then when I prayed and I asked God, and he was like, you didn't say how old he had to be. And I was like, you know what? In prayer is when I heard that. I was like, you're absolutely right. So just know that it's not going to be perfect, but there are some joys of marrying down, as well as joys of marrying up.
Yes. Growth is the biggest thing that you're going to have to recognize when it comes to a person that's younger. Growth is the biggest thing that you got to tap into.
Pretty much.